Welcome to Chapter 2 of this section, Bank Accounts. For everyday banking needs, most individuals typically use a checking account or some kind of savings account. I'm going to explain what these accounts are in this section. One of the most common services provided by banks is a transaction account, also known as a checking account. These accounts allow you to deposit and withdraw money, as well as make purchases and pay bills using checks, debit cards, and online transactions. Typically, checking accounts offer almost no interest and may charge fees. Although checking accounts may not generate significant profits for banks on their own, banks lend the deposited money to other clients at a higher interest rate, allowing them to make a profit. For example, if your checking account gives you 0% and someone else pays 20% on their credit card, banks are making a 20% profit on the money you gave them if they lend it out. Another service provided by banks is saving accounts. These accounts are designed to hold money that you don't need to use immediately, and banks pay you interest for keeping your money with them. However, traditional banks usually offer very low interest rates on savings accounts, usually less than 1% in North America. To earn a higher interest rate on your savings, it's worth considering a high yield savings account, which can give you up to 3 to 5% interest. But the issue is that high yield savings accounts are usually offered by banks that don't have physical locations. Later in this course, we'll talk about how you can use bank accounts to plan for and reach your financial goals. Depending on your short term, medium term, and long term spending goals, proper planning may involve having multiple accounts. Before you open an account with a specific bank, here are some things you should consider. Availability of customer service. Can you talk to someone on the phone if you need it, if you have any kind of issue or if you need some kind of help? Ease of withdrawals and deposits. Does the bank have multiple locations and ATMs scattered around a large area? Fees. Some banks charge a lot more than others. So if you can save some money on this, it's an easy way to cut down your expenses. And the bank's reputation for its services. Use the internet to look for reviews and find complaints from past customers and see if those issues could come up with you. Keep in mind that there will be a trade-off. For example, online banks may have terrible customer service, but they may and very few physical ATMs to withdraw cash, but they'll probably also have lower fees and higher interest rates on deposits. While we're on the topic of bank accounts, it's important to also talk about debit cards. All bank accounts can now be linked to debit cards, which are a replacement for the old method of banking with checks and physical cash. Bank accounts have made banking a lot easier, and it makes spending money on, let's say you wanted to buy something at a store and you don't have the cash with you. It makes spending a lot easier and quicker and much more convenient. A debit card is a payment card that lets you access money directly from your bank account and make purchases or withdraw cash. It can also be linked to a checking or savings account, which can be held at a financial institution. When a debit card is used for a transaction, the amount of money spent is immediately taken from the balance in the bank account it's linked to. Unlike credit cards, debit cards allow you to use your own, unlike credit cards, which are used to borrow money up to a certain limit and you can repay that money after, debit cards only allow you to spend money that you own. So it's your own money within your linked bank account. One of the key advantages of debit cards is the enhanced security they offer. So let's say, for example, if you just had cash with you, you may be in trouble if you're just walking down the street. With a debit card, it's physically impossible to take money from you because it's linked to a bank account and you have to physically withdraw it by going into the bank. Debit cards also give you a paper trail of how you spent your money. So you can use this money to track your expenses, or you can see what kind of spending patterns you've been following. This could actually help you a lot. And we'll talk about budgeting a little bit later in the course, but this could actually make your job much easier if you want to budget for your expenses.